So, Lisa Rothstein, now Lisa Miller.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good.
What are we doing, man?
I'm turning 40 tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you. So, I guess the first thing I wanted to talk about, since you're turning 40 tomorrow, is like happy birthday, and you still remember me.
Yes.
I was so upset about leaving New York in 1989. I guess you were three. I thought you were two, but I'm thinking now you must have been three,
Yeah.
you know,
hmm
because it's 86 and well, now it's 2026 and you're turning
hmm
40 tomorrow and happy birthday. And what are you doing for your birthday?
So my husband is going to be making us a barbecue.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna have some hot dogs and hamburgers and have my parents over and that'll be nice.
So why don't you unpack that whole thing about going to the summer home? It's now an Airbnb and you and Allie rented it. What is this?
This is actually, I'm so stoked about this. So this is something that I have been planning since probably 2017, 2018. It was when I found out the Airbnb that the beach house was an Airbnb. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I need to rent it out." But the cost is pretty astronomical. So I said, back in 2018, this is going to be reserved for something special, like my 40th. And here we are. So we're going.
It's just you and Allie?
No, so me, Allie, my friend Aurora, who lives in the community, and Gia and Danielle, who are, as you know, my
Nice.
childhood friends.
Nice. Do you want to explain to the people that are watching about this summer home and its like significance to you and all of that?
Sure, sure. So, the beach house is on the North Shore of Long Island, and it is a treasure. It is just, I don't know how to explain it. It's a little community where there's a whole bunch of cottages and people rent them out for the whole summer, but it's out on Long Island. So, a lot of people from like the city, Staten Island, the Bronx, whatever, Nassau County, they'll come out to the east end of Long Island for the summers. And so we did that from 19. I mean, they had the house I think from 1980 until 2006. So 20 years later, we're going back.
And who had the house?
My aunt and uncle, Kathy and Eddie. Well,
There
not
you
technically
go.
my aunt and uncle, but
Might as well be.
the Taranas.
And we would go there like a lot, and you would go there even more
Every
because,
weekend of my life up until they sold it.
right. So pretty significant. So what a great thing to do. I bet Allie must be incredibly stoked.
I don't know who's more excited, me or her, but we're both like we're dreaming about it. We can't wait.
So
Yeah.
talking about you, one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is I really want to unpack our family. And of course, that starts with Pop Pop. And I'm just thought it would be really, really cool to have you explain our family for those who don't know us, like and how it was growing up on Hastings Street in the 80s and all of that stuff. And did you want to unpack?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get a sense that I was going to get emotional right off the bat.
Oh, you're
But I
already
purposely
emotional?
did not wear mascara because I knew that this was going to happen.
So what do you remember the most? What actually do you want to unpack about Grandma and Pop Pop or Ginger and Aunt Virginia and Tony Sameka? What do you want to talk about growing up? I'm really curious about this, what you're gonna unpack.
Well, they they fought like cats and dogs. If she said black, he said white. And honestly, it was kind of endearing in a strange way. But it was always a lot of bickering, but it was a loving kind of bickering, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. Um, he took me everywhere. I mean, he took me to the park all the time. We go to Steel School, which I think you went to elementary school at
I,
Steel
I went to
School.
Harbor on Hastings Street, right up the block.
Oh, so did anyone go to Steel?
Many people went to Steele, nobody in our family.
Oh, good to know.
There was always kids in that school. A lot of people went to Steele School, just nobody in our
But not
family.
you guys.
Not us guys. No, none of us.
So he always brought me to Steel School to play on the playground there. And oh my God, we'd always be at the KFC. And I used to love playing with the lights on the floor, make them change like the patterns and stuff, and playing like behind the bar and like being a bartender and playing with the ice and making Shirley Temples for myself. Oh my God. I mean,
Shirley Temples.
playing in his office. The KFC was a big part of my childhood too. I was devastated when they sold that because I
Yeah.
wanted to have my Sweet 16 there. And
She's not saying KFC. That would be Kentucky Fried Chicken. She's saying KFC, the Knights of Columbus, of which my father was like a fourth degree member, and he rented out the Knights of Columbus on behalf. It was a
yeah,
Catholic charitable
not
organization,
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
right? We had so many events there because he was like the banquet manager. He volunteered so much time there, and that was kind of fun. He was such the king poobah of that place.
They were having a Memorial Day parade, and he said, "Hey, baby girl, you want to march in the parade? You're gonna lead it, okay? Here's a baton. You're gonna be a baton twirler." And I was like, "Okay." I've never twirled a baton a day in my life, but here I was marching down Grand Avenue, twirling my little baton with all these old men behind me.
That would
God,
be the Knights of
it was one
Columbus
of
with
the
all the
best
old men.
memories I have. That was a lot of fun. Um, God, he was like a second father to me. I mean, I lived with them. I lived with both of them. And then it was funnier because when I grew up was when my grandma Ginger and I kind of bonded more because she was so into like, what boys you talking to now and make sure you do your homework. And she was on my ass though. When I lived with them, it was like, you go to bed at this time and you wake up at this time and you eat your breakfast before you walk out the door. And she was very, very regimented with me.
Now, most kids, when they live with their grandparents, it's because their parents had some kind of like weird shit going on, right? They, were either divorced or somebody was dysfunctional, somebody got arrested. But you may want to explain why you were living with Grandma and Pop when your parents were perfectly capable of caring for you. You could have lived at home. So, how did it come to be that you actually were living with your grandparents?
I unfortunately started getting bullied. The beginning of my sophomore year, friends of mine decided that they didn't want to be friends, they didn't like me anymore, and I was getting bullied. So I decided that for my junior year, I was going to go to Baldwin High School because I wanted to be in sports night.
The mini me you are.
My mom had taken me to sports night, which was something that's very dear to her heart. Oh, I just hit the mic. And I was like, this is amazing. We don't have anything like this in Freeport High School. So there's a lot of different things that propelled me into going to Baldwin. And then also at the end of my sophomore year, I met my high school boyfriend, Mike Martinez, and he went to Baldwin High School. So I was like, well, shit, I want to go to Baldwin High School with you too. So there was a lot of moving parts as to why I lived with grandma and papa,
Hmm. Okay.
but it was for the best, for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Zero,
How
zero regrets.
how long were you living there with them? I mean, was it years, months?
It
What
was,
was
it
it?
was 2 years. I lived with them my junior and my senior year.
Okay, so that's 2002, 2003. Is that what it was?
Yeah, and then I graduated in 2004.
Okay. All right.
But by
Very
then I was
interesting.
driving, and this I actually have a lot of guilt about. I was driving and I stopped sleeping there as much because I could just drive from Brunella, which was right, you could take Brookside right up to Baldwin High School. I would pass Freeport High School every morning, be like, "What up, suckers?" Go up to Baldwin. And I stopped sleeping there a lot towards the end of my senior year.
Okay. So what was it like growing up, like, as the offspring of, Mike from Mike and Kenny fame and Dinger the singer
Mm.
and the Dirty Donna and the Filthettes? I mean, what was the upbringing like?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I can remember me and Chell Esposito just playing with the tambourines. We could not have been more than 3 or 4 years old ourselves. And we are just like, yeah, shaking and singing along with them. And it was just, and that I was actually at the beach house that party. Well, we had every party for Labor
Hmm.
Day at the beach house, and
Hmm.
Mike and Kenny would play. And it was just fun. A lot of
Hmm. Hmm.
fun. Now I want to be a rock star.
Oh, that's funny. Well, let's just talk about that because now I'm watching you dabble in guitar. You're dabbling in keyboards, right? Did you say you moved on? Where are you musically now? At
I'm
almost
waiting for
40
my
years old.
lesson.
What's that?
I'm supposed to be starting lessons, and unfortunately, my teacher took a spill. He took a tumble, and we're just waiting for him to recover so that we can start our lessons. We've been texting, and he's been helping me as much as he can through text messages, but we're going to have like an actual session eventually once
So
he's
are
healthy.
these piano lessons?
Piano, guitar, I would like to get more confident in my singing. Being hard of hearing is really, really hard for me to sing. Like
Hmm.
it's a real struggle for me to stay on key, to stay in tune,
Well, you have
because
hearing aids, don't you? Is this something where you're supposed to have them? I mean, do you wear them? Do
I
you have?
do, I do. I wear them in each side,
So,
and they help, they assist, but there's nothing like, true organic hearing. That's
so
for
what
sure.
happened to your hearing? Is it something that you were just born with? Is it something that you
Hmm.
grew into at a certain age? What happened there?
I was born with a hearing loss. So, funny story actually. My father was selling hearing aids because he was wearing hearing aids back in the I want to say late 80s, early 90s. And just for fun, he was testing, well, not for fun, he was trying to educate himself on testing other people because he wanted to also be a hearing aid dealer. I don't know what, what they're called.
Yes,
Um,
distributor, whatever.
he's a hearing
He's
aid
a dude.
dealer.
He wants to be a pusher. He's a pusher man.
So he tested all of us, and I could not have been more than 4 or 5 years old. And my dad said to my mom, she's got a hearing problem. So they're like, all right, put her in the front of the class,
Put her
and
in the
we'll deal
front.
with it, as she gets older. And that's what I
Wow.
did. Probably around 2021, I started wearing my hearing aids more like full time.
There's a bunch of things I want to talk about. Tell me about this accident that you had when you were a cheerleader and you were a top. Is that what they call it? I mean, I don't even know what they
Yeah, I was a flyer. So this was
flyer.
at Nassau Community College. I had already graduated from high school, and I was at the top, and I could feel that I wasn't secure. So I was saying cradle, cradle, which means release my legs and cradle me. And they just caught my feet. So when I hit the ground, I kind of like slammed down in like a V. So the tailbone hit first, and it just sent a shockwave through like my whole spine.
Wow. But you've had issues with it. Like you've had surgeries, like plural, right?
I've had multiple surgeries, like plural, yeah. But funny enough, as you know, last year we were speaking about my diagnosis of being hypermobile and how that's really played a role in my injuries, where I was actually having herniated discs and problems before the cheerleading accident happened. Not a lot of people are aware of that
Mm-hmm.
my body started unraveling a lot earlier than the cheerleading accident. But I think that probably propelled, you know, it to get worse.
All I know is neck surgery. I don't know like what they did or how many they did
Um,
and how are you
well,
today? All of that.
they didn't do anything the first few years. I had to do a lot of PT, chiropractic care, um, acupuncture, anything to not have to do surgery, pretty much. And then finally, by 2010, I couldn't take the pain in my low back anymore. So I went to Dr. Shapiro with Orlin and Cohen, and I had a double lumbar fusion.
All
And
right.
that was pretty successful. So
Cool.
then the following year, I had a cervical disc replacement. So instead of fusing the bone, they put in a fake disc, Well, that failed. So then a couple of years later, they took that out and they fused it, and then that failed. So that they took that out. They took from my hip, and they did that with cadaver bone, and they put that in my neck. And so far, so good.
All right. Because I didn't
Yeah.
know about, maybe if I knew, I didn't remember about the low back. I remembered the neck. And so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I also have scoliosis where I'm like I'm tilted this way, and just a lot of joint and pain issues still. And as I'm getting older now, arthritis. So I used to be so super bendy and flexible. Now I wake up every morning and I feel like stiff, like the Tin
Hmm.
Man. You gotta
Hmm.
reset the joints, oil me up, you know?
Hmm. I get it. Are you pain free now in those areas or what?
No, no, it's a
Hmm.
constant chronic pain that I don't think
Damn.
will ever go away, but I'm working on it. I graduated from PT and now I'm working on going to Pure Barre Studio, which is kind of like isometric workouts using your own body weight and getting stronger that way. I'm never
Okay.
going to stop trying to get stronger and healthier, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Chasing
Cool.
after Lucy all damn day.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's get to Ray and Lucy. Let's get to the love life and Ray and share that story about throwing him up against the wall and all that because I love that story. And I'm the way I look at it, I recorded Pop Pop like 1989. I guess you might have known that because you were just been three, but that's when I did it when I came back to visit. I started recording him and then I recorded Ginge and your parents, Rhea and Wayne, and I'm really glad I did. Even Anthony and now
Mhm.
Thomas, I've done Jewel. For me, it's all posterity. I love to catch this stuff because it's like lightning in a bottle. But I also like, even when it was all said and done, I was like, damn, I wish I asked Pop Up this. Or I'm sorry, I wish I talked about that. And
Uh-huh.
so I like to capture these kinds of really cool stories. But at the same time, I don't want to talk you into sharing something I don't know if it's appropriate for you to share. So, but did you want to at all talk about like you and Ray when you first met, or you can just do the Reader's Digest version, or what? Well, you can go into the whole story. I mean,
um,
I don't know if that's something that you do want to talk about.
I wouldn't be me if I wasn't completely honest, so let's just go for
All
it.
right.
I we met drunk at a bar pretty much.
That's pretty honest.
I wanted nothing to do with him.
Oh, okay.
I wanted water and to go home.
Wow.
And he bought me a bottle of water. And as I'm sipping on it, I'm kind of like looking at him and I'm like, all right, this guy's not ugly, that's for sure. And we start talking more. And I ended up leaving. And I didn't get his number. I We didn't exchange any information whatsoever. And he kept trying and asking. I just vroom, I wanted to go home. I was very tired. I had one goal and one goal in mind, and that was my bed. So I left, and the next morning I woke up and I said, fuck. He was so hot. He was so nice. I was such a bitch to him. I need to find him. So I put on my little FBI hat and I went on Facebook and I was
Oh,
like,
you
all right, I'm gonna find
stalker.
him. Yes, yes, yes. I said, all right, I know he's friends with Lauren. So let me go on Lauren's page and let me find a Ray. And I found Ray Miller. And I was like, that's my guy. And I sent him a message, apologized for being a bitch and not really, giving him a second look. And he said it was all right. We talked and texted for about 2 weeks. And then we met again, same bar
Which bar
in
was that?
Cabo in Rockville Center.
Okay.
So he's ignoring me. And I'm pissed because I've wasted 2 weeks of my time talking to this guy. And I was not out playing any games. I knew from a very young age that I wanted to get married, I wanted to have babies, and I wanted to raise a family. That was just always my goal. So to have wasted 2 weeks to just be ignored,
2 whole weeks.
2 whole weeks of my time when I could have been sleeping.
What year is this? How old were you then?
2010. So I was 23, gonna be 24,
Mm-hmm.
I think, and he was 21. He was younger. Um, But yeah, I was a flight attendant at the time and I was on call. I was on reserve, which means they could call me at any time and be like, hey, bitch, we need you at the airport in 2 hours. Pack your shit and let's go. So sleep was very, very important to me. So yeah, I wasted 2 weeks of my time and my sleep talking to this man just to be ignored. So I went to the bar, took a shot of tequila, it was, yeah. And then I found him, got in the group of whoever he was talking to, threw him up against the wall, kissed him as hard as I could. And when I pulled back, I was like, you only talk to me now.
I love that. And now you're married. You've got
Now we're married.
Lucy. This is so friggin' cool. I love him. He really is friggin' awesome. We call him Grok. He's just he's very, very, very awesome guy. Well, he
He
does.
is.
For whatever reason, he always reminded me of Grok, Ron Gronkowski. He's got that personality, but he's so fun. He,
Yeah,
and he,
he's more level-headed than Gronk, I hope. I don't know. I mean, I don't know
oh, you
Gronk
know the real Grok. I know.
to
That's
this
what I'm
day.
saying. Like, really. Okay, so then Lucy came. I mean, let's talk about that beautiful little being because I mean, as a mom, you could like, I'm sure, gush forever about her. And were you trying for a while to get her, or was this a
Oh my
spontaneous
God.
thing?
I'm in her room now too. I manifested her. So I talked about Lucy for probably a good 5 or 6 years before she came.
Wow.
I just
Okay.
knew.
Did you have her
Um,
name too? You already knew she was going to be a Lucy?
Lucy Ray, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't want to name her Donna. I wanted to give some sort of like
Hat tip.
homage to my
Mm-hmm.
parents
Mm-hmm.
and to my mom and name her after them. But I wasn't gonna name her baby Donna. So as you know, my parents used to sign their cards Lucy and Ricky, as in from, I love Lucy.
He's the drummer.
And
Babaloo.
I said, you know what? I want her to be Lucy. And then Ray, because Ray after her own father.
Mm.
And because, I'm Lisa George, I have a man middle name. So,
Mm-hmm.
so does my
After
daughter.
Michael's father, which is so cool.
hmm
So brag about her a little bit. Tell me a little bit
She's,
about, I mean, gosh, go ahead.
she's so funny. She's so much braver than I was. Like she's very courageous. She's like Johnny Knoxville, man. She just gets through, does anything. And she's also super, super, super sweet. Like if she hits you by accident, she'll go, "Oh, sorry, mommy."
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't have asked for a better child.
Oh, that's
For
awesome.
someone who tried and prayed, we had issues, did the whole fertility treatments and everything, and then she finally came on her own.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know any of that. So you did fertility treatments and then you gave up the fertility treatments and then you got pregnant?
hmm
I love it when you just give up and all of a sudden, boom,
Yeah,
it's,
well, I
it's
was full of fibroids. I didn't know. I didn't know at the time. Um, but actually, the Clomid, what I was taking, made the fibroids bigger to the point where when I got down here, when we moved, we from New York to here, um, was when I finally got checked out for the fibroids, and they were like, "There's no spermies that are gonna get past anything up there, honey.
you got a
We
goalie.
gotta clean you out." So
Yeah.
they cleaned me out, and within 3 months, I was pregnant.
Wow. Congratulations. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
She's amazing. So tell me
Yeah,
about her personality as far as like, do you see yourself in her at all? Because I
I
mean,
see a little too much of myself in
okay.
her.
I figured the genes run strong on that side, on that lineage,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. She loves to play dress up. She loves to do her makeup. She loves to just
Certainly
paint.
remember you playing dress up. I certainly have a memory of that. That I do know. You had quite the wardrobe. You were like you were in theater or something. Like
I was a dancer, so I had bags and bags of, dance costumes. So yeah, it
that's
was
fun.
fun.
That's really fun.
And I still love to entertain. I'm going to be in a movie on Tuesday.
Tell me.
Yeah, I really can't talk too much about it. I'm not supposed to.
Oh, then don't talk about it. So, are you going to be an extra, or are you going to? You don't have to say who's in it, but are you an extra? Or you got a big part? I mean, are you going to? Do you have a
I'm a
script?
background.
Okay, well, that's
I
fine.
don't have a speaking part, but they did say that any background actor can be moved to a featured role at any time, so be prepared.
I'm very familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. You actually, I think, were on their casting website. Katrat Lock Casting something.
Okay, yeah, lock with an E.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's them.
wow, congratulations. So, did you set up with them? Are they?
Mhm.
Oh, cool. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right.
I saw that they had posted something on their website that they were looking for, a woman in her 30s or whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna be 40, but I'll put it in anyway,
Yeah,
And then they got back to me and I couldn't believe it.
that's awesome.
So I shoot Tuesday.
Congratulations. Do you know where you're going, or are you going to wait? You don't have to explain or tell you where it is, but you know where you're going?
I do. I
Okay,
do.
cool.
It's right in Savannah.
Congratulations.
So
Well, you
I'll
know
be
what?
right.
It's a lot of hurry up and wait. You got to get there. The call, your call time. I mean, see, I still know the
No,
lingo.
not yet. They don't tell
Okay.
you until the night before.
Okay, that's fun. And then you get there and they'll tell you what to do and who not to interrupt and who not to interact with and all that fun stuff. Yeah,
Oh, they already sent me emails. Don't talk to the talent. The talent has to stay in character the whole time. Even when they go to lunch, don't
that's
look at
funny.
them. I'm like, all right,
That's so funny.
sorry.
Well, let's do this. What do you want to talk about, Lisa, that is like a burning desire that we can capture on this recording? What are you packing as an intention or objective or something you just want to talk about?
I think it's important to discuss my postpartum depression that I went through.
Okay, so tell me, when did it start? All that stuff. Are you still in the middle of it, or are you on the other side of it? What I mean,
I'm
tell
on
me.
the other side, finally.
Oh, so tell
But
me how early did it start? Do you mind again?
yeah, this was I'm gonna be honest. When I came home from having Lucy, everything fell off. Like it was almost instant for me. I had a really rough C-section, a really rough birth. We'll get into that another time. But when I came home, I immediately felt disconnected. I felt like I was in a movie. I felt like it wasn't my house. Everything just felt weird. And then from there, it just obviously got worse. Then Jada passed in May. So Lucy was born in March.
Tell
She,
people who Jada is.
yeah, Jada was my cat that I had for about 16 years. And she was like what you would call an emotional support pet. She was
Right.
my emotional support cat. Um, and also, this is a very important tidbit. The week I gave birth was also the same week that my mom started her chemotherapy treatments. So it felt like I was becoming a mother and like losing my mother at the same time, which was like really hard for me to grapple with at the time. Luckily, my mother is doing great. Um, Knock on wood for that. But it was really, really, really hard. Like when it rains, it pours types of thing. Then Jada passed in May. And then I think by October, I cut all my hair off. I Britney Spears, I cut all the hair off. And I was just like, I was losing it. I was definitely losing it. And what was really scary to me was that nobody could tell I was losing it. Like it really wasn't until I finally sought help on my own. I went back to my doctor and I was like, something's not right. Like I'm not happy. I think my daughter would be better off without me. I think everyone would be better off without me. Something's very, very much wrong. Um, so they put me on a very low dose of Zoloft, which seemed to kind of take the edge off, but I still felt like I was in a fog, like I was in a dream, like a movie. So then they upped the Zoloft. And by January of 2024 was when I really went vroom, because now I was no longer depressed. I was manic. I was straight up like super duper confident in everything that I could do, everything that I was saying, super defensive to anyone who told me otherwise. And it kind of went the other way. I also felt very free at that time, though, because it felt like everything that I had been carrying was finally like, ah, I'm releasing it. It's no longer
Hmm.
mine. I don't
Hmm.
care. I'm moving forward with my life and I'm being happy and doing what I want to do. And it kind of got a little messy for a little while. But I realized that I was overly medicated. And when I told the doctor, again, something's wrong, this is too much, they told me to up it. They wanted to increase my dose. And I said, I'm not doing that shit. So I went cold turkey and I went through hell withdrawals. Um, and I made it out on the other side. But I
So,
think one of the most, yeah,
no, go ahead. No, one of the most what?
one of the most important things that I wanted to shed light on with postpartum depression is people tend to think that you hate your child or that like you want it to die. And that was the complete opposite of why I was spiraling. I was having so much anxiety that something bad was going to happen to her that it made me go into a full blown psychosis.
So what did you learn? I mean, did you do any research about like this topic? Because if you
Mm.
wanted to talk about it, I'm thinking, are you an advocate for giving help? Like, why was this an important thing to discuss? Did you want people to know that you went through it? Is there
Mhm.
something, do you have suggestions or something like that? Was there a reason? Did you want to get,
Because it's so stigmatized and it's looked down upon, and like I can remember I was on the other side of it, freshly on the other side of it, and a neighbor had said something to me like, I don't even remember what she said exactly, but it was like, oh, that's so crazy because I never knew anybody that had it. Oh God, what did she say? I don't know, but it struck a nerve because it was like I didn't have some crazy like disease. Like I was struggling, and I needed help. And instead, I got met with a lot of judgment. And
wow.
yeah, so it was kind of hard to
Did
wrap. So that
Did the judgment come because you had postpartum depression, or and they knew it, or did the judgment come because you had postpartum depression and you were trying to show as if everything was okay, but it wasn't? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where was the
No,
judgment
this
coming
was
from?
more like the judgment was coming from they don't understand what it is. The judgment comes from they think that I just want to like off my child or like off my whole family,
Oh my
which
God.
I know, which unfortunately
How
some
many people are we talking about? One, two? Because this sounds insane that anybody would feel like that. You know, maybe you don't need that many people to have done that for that to be irritating. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, how it's just all you need is maybe a squeaky wheel or two or three. Was it a lot of people that were judging you, having those exact thoughts?
not those exact thoughts. And look, I can't talk for other people. I don't know exactly what they were thinking, but I know the stigma that comes along with postpartum depression, what people do think. And that was why it was important for me to shed light on it
Well, now
and
that you
to
got this platform, I'm saying, what do you want to say about it to educate people to be the solution to that stigma? What is it that you want to say that will help people who are ignorant because they'll never know because they're not experiencing it? What do you want to say to enlighten anybody who's watching this about
mm,
postpartum depression?
for any mom who's watching this and has felt these feelings that I've felt, I want them to know that it's normal. It actually is. It's way more normal than people realize. The number one like postpartum maternal killer is suicide
Wow.
or is maternal suicide. So I don't think a lot of people realize that. So for postpartum depression to be so stigmatized when it's really so much more normal and routine than moms think or give themselves credit for.
Well, what would you have liked to have had from support? Because you have a great number of people who really love and care for you. What would you wish that they would have done or that they had known? Did you need people to reach out to check in on you? Did you need space? Like what was it that other people can do when they suspect someone may have postpartum depression to help them? What was your experience? What would have helped you during that time?
Comfort and support and saying like this is normal, like you're not alone, like everyone goes through this. It's more normal than you think. It's not that uncommon. There's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're broken. You're not failing as a mother.
But you see
All
now, but
all those things.
so many people maybe never experienced it. Now I can understand why you're having this platform because for them to have said that, they'd have to have experienced it and know that it was normal. But if they never experienced it, they probably they couldn't say those things because they're ignorant about postpartum depression. They would be
Hmm.
making it up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So you have had an experience of it, so it means more that you're saying it. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
cool.
It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. And I hope so right now what I'm working on is just kind of guiding women and like being that person to say, "Hey, it's okay. Like we've all been there. Even if people say that they haven't or that it's not normal or whatever, we've all been there. Everyone is faking it until they make it, honey."
Well, it's really funny because I would imagine that, everybody, it's like processing grief. Everybody does it differently and uniquely. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Hmm.
it's, it's, it's very personal and very intimate. And when you go through something that's very personal to you, you could assume then that a lot of other people are also doing it that way, but it's very intimate. And there may be a good number of people that do have postpartum depression, but then there's probably a bunch of people who, for whatever reason, get away with it without it, you know? And so,
Yeah.
just having a baby doesn't necessarily mean that a person's going to have postpartum depression. But I think knowing that that's a phenomenon is a good idea to check in and say, are you okay? How are you doing? And if anybody ever called you and said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm
Yeah.
just checking in, make sure motherhood and you are getting along well, seeing if you're needing any support." If anybody did that, would that have
Yeah.
helped you?
Oh yeah, because it's it's
Cool.
it's every 1 in 4. It's every 1 in 4, and I don't think people realize it. They think it's like every 1 in 1 million or
Well,
every
let's
one in
do
four.
that. Let's use
It's
this
more.
platform now to say for people, if it's that high, that if you know
Hmm.
somebody who's had a baby, maybe first time, second time, doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Maybe it's really good to check in just to see how they're doing, to be a support person, just to be
Hmm.
there for them. Maybe that's
Yeah.
really a good idea that they don't themselves don't have to go through postpartum depression to be a resource for somebody. They can know that just check. It's a possibility and just
Hmm.
check and be there just as a humane lover of your friend. Just check in with them. How's that sound?
Exactly. I love
Okay,
that.
cool. Anything else before we say goodbye? I mean, like, it felt like it went so fast. I mean, is there
It
anything,
did. It did go pretty fast. I know we talked about it for so long, and now it's like, all right, gotta
right?
go.
So, but is there anything else you want to hit in the closing minutes here? Is there anything else you want to say?
No,
Okay.
I love you guys.
I
I love my
love
whole
you.
family.
I
I
love
love
my
everybody.
family. I love you and I love your family. Happy birthday, you beautiful being. 40. Do you
Thank
believe it?
you.
I'm getting your last, yeah, 39 was Ginger's last birthday. I don't know if you knew that. She always,
30
after,
fine.
was it 35?
No, 30 fine. 30 fine. I'm 30 fine.
I don't know that one. I was saying Ginger always celebrated the anniversary of her 39th birthday. So like
Every year.
tomorrow, you saying you're 40. It was her 1 year anniversary of turning 39.
I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that she did that too. I remember that when I was really young. Anyway, I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for doing this, and we'll
Thank you
do it
for
again.
having me. Yeah, absolutely.
Much love. Bye.
Bye.
Mm. That was great.
That was fun.